Screen is visible, Malika?
Yes, ma'am.
तो लुक बैक इन एंगर का थोड़ा सा हम लोग ब्रीफ कर लेते हैं, सेट करते हैं. So first of all, before starting this play, so we need to focus about the characters, बेटा. Okay. तो characters कौन कौन से हमारे, because this is your look back in anger play है हमारा. तो उसकी जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जिम्मी पॉटर. जो जिम्मी पॉटर हैं प्ले के मेन कैरेक्टर हैं, मेन हीरो बोल सकते हैं आप इसको, कि मेन हीरो ऑफ द प्ले. जिम्मी पॉटर मेन कैरेक्टर ऑफ द प्ले. एलिसन पॉटर उनकी वाइफ है, जिम्मीज की, है ना, जिम्मीज वाइफ. एंड क्लीफ लुइस फ्रेंड टू बोथ जिम्मी एंड एलिसन. दोनों के फ्रेंड हैं, वो अच्छे फास्ट फ्रेंड्स हैं. देन आफ्टर हेलेना चार्ल्स, एलिसन का जो बेस्ट फ्रेंड है, हेलेना चार्ल्स ऑल्सो एलिसन बेस्ट फ्रेंड. देन आफ्टर कर्नल रेडफिन, एलिसन के फादर है, ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट वी आर सीइंग हियर, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट द प्ले. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जॉर्ज बॉर्न जो है, उनका जो बॉर्न पीरियड है 12 दिसंबर 1929 है. देन आफ्टर वी कैन से सिंपली ड्रामाटिस्ट एक्टर, ही इज अ ड्रामाटिस्ट एक्टर, स्क्रीन प्ले राइटर ऑल्सो. जॉन जो ऑसबोर्न है, ही इज अ ड्रामेटिस्ट एक्टर, स्क्रीन प्ले राइटर, थिएटर मैनेजर एंड एंटी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट राइटर, आइडेंटिफाइड विद द ब्रिटिश लेफ्ट विंग. तो बिकॉज ये जो प्ले जब कंडक्ट किया गया था, जब रखा गया था, तो उस समय सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद में इसकी थीम रखी गई थी. उस समय हमने ये देखा था कि कितनी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही थी, मतलब बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स, और लोग कितने फेस कर रहे थे प्रॉब्लम्स को, है ना. तो उसके बेस पे ये थीम रखी गई है कि लुक बैक इन एंगर. ठीक है, इतना क्लियर है. देन आफ्टर वी कैन से द थर्ड प्ले इज ऑल्सो लुक बैक इन एंगर है, वॉन हिम फेम एंड एक्सेप्टेंस. देन आफ्टर लुक बैक इन एंगर क्रिएटेड ए न्यू सेंसेशन, एक न्यू सेंसेशन क्रिएट करता है. दाउ मोस्ट क्रिटिक्स अटैक द प्ले एज unpromising. Then, after the play became popular mainly because it gave theatrical voice to the frustration, disillusionment, and of the young generation of British. है ना, ब्रिटिश में जब यंग जनरेशन में जब प्रॉब्लम.
Ma'am, your voice is not coming.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start about the some important points on interview questions, and we can say that these all points are related to job oriented points. So now we are having some points, so we need to discuss about the some nature of job and types of duties and likes and dislikes and working conditions and the earnings and reasons for changing job and factors of job satisfaction and achievements. These are some job oriented points. So before the you know before selection and before going to selection and before joining any job, any types of duty and type of job, so we need to first of all understand about the nature of job, and then after we have to understand about the type of duties, and then after their likes and dislikes and working conditions and their earning reasons for changing jobs and factors of job satisfaction and their achievements. Now we are just discussing about objectives of interview. So interviews, an effective tool for selection. So it is a two-way communication between interviewer and interview, and information flows in both directions. Recruiters learns about the applicant, and the applicant also gets a chance to know about the employer. And so why are the interviews carried out, and in what way does it help the interviewer, and zero in on the right candidate. I recommend you the Upgrade app. Interview preparation app contain most important and tricks and techniques which guarantee to get your first job for freshers, and Upgrade to dream job for job seeker or the best. So first of all, we have to understand, and we need to focus about the objective. So interviews and effective tool for selection. So if we want to get if we want to get select, and if we want to face any interview, so first of all this point should be in mind. So effective communication should be there. So it is a two-way, this is a two-way communication between interviewer and interviewee, and information flows in both directions. Recruiter learns about the applicant, and applicant also gets a chance to know about the employer. And so why are the interview carried out, why we are conducting an interview, and actually what is the process of an interview. So these all points should be in mind. So in what ways does it help the interviewer zero in the on the right candidate? Then after some learning outcomes, so understand the various ways of gathering information by asking people questions, understand how to decide between the different types of interviews, and develop these skills needed for approaching different types of interviews. So first of all, we need to understand the various points and various ways. We need to gather information, and so different people, different interviewer, they're having lot of points, they're having lot of questions, and in their mind, because they all are very they all are very experienced people and qualified, you can say. So these all things are very important. We must understand the various ways of gathering information. So first of all, candidate must have a knowledge and must have they have good information. So by asking people questions to understand how to decide between the different types of interview. So first of all, we need to understand there are different ways or different types of interviews. So develop these skills needed for approaching different types of interview. So first of all, you need to develop your skills, develop your knowledge, and just focus about the different approaches. So they can raise any questions on any time. So we must have we should be ready. So various ways of gathering information is very important. So now some basic questions related to education and training. So being a candidate and being a being being a student, and being a trainer. So first of all, some questions related to education and training. So some points should be in your mind when you're having an interview, and when your interview is conducted anywhere. So some points should be in your mind, because sometimes we know things, but we forget, sometimes we forget. So first of all, your performance, your academic performance, and your percentage, and your grade, whatever you have nowadays. So academic performance should be, you must understand and also aware about the percentage, about your background, and your subject, and also the knowledge. So based for a subject also, they can raise such kind of questions. So grade, your division, and your percentage. So very basic points and simple points are there: your grade and your division, your percentage. So involvement in extra co-curricular activities and special achievements, if any. So first of all, you should be, your involvement. If you are having any involvement in extra co-curricular activities and special achievements, if any, so you can just suggest them, you can just tell them, you can just make it clear. Yes, you are having such kind of knowledge and such kind of special achievements, and your participation and your role in many different curricular activities. So you can also make it clear this point: friend circle and your close friends, and their activities and relationship with teachers, how was education, finance. So these all points are very simple and very basic points. We are just discussing over here, but these points are very important. Very basic points are there, but very important, you can say. Because sometimes we know many things, we know about our academic performance, our subject, and all these things, but somehow when we are having interview and interviewer are sitting in front of us, so we sometimes we just forget many things, because at a time, so we are not able to recall things. So first of all, before entering, before going, and before knowing about the training, and during interview, so you should have such kind of points, and such you should have such points in your mind about the your academic background, your academic performance, and your subject, and the divisions percentage, and your co-curricular activities if you have, and your special achievements if you get, and if you got some special achievements in your life, you can also share with them. And also you can just make and also just tell them different things, different activities, and different you are suppose you are having sports in your college life or your school life. If you're having NCC, so you can just make it clear and just tell them about the involvement, about your special achievements. So these things should be in your mind whenever they are whenever they will ask you about the your activities, your co-curricular. So some points should be in your mind, so you can just brief them and tell them clearly, and it is also having good impact on them. So friend circle and your close friends and their activities, they can also ask you about your friend circle. If you're having your fast friends and your bosom friends, you can tell them your school friend, your college friend, and your close friends, and and their activities nowadays, what they are doing, and their activities and their role. So because if you are telling them about your friends, about their activity, so it means you are also affecting from from them, because they are your friends, they are your friend circle, and they are your close friend. So you can just tell or just make it clear about their present, and about their about their past activities, and present in present what they are doing. So relationship with a teacher, this is also a good question. If you're having good relations, and some teachers have a good knowledge and your subject knowledge, and they are impacting on you. So you can just you can brief all these points and just brief them about their relationship and about their subject knowledge and what you have learned from them, and what are their role, and why are you mentioning all these things here. So this is also very important. You must have some positive approach and negative approach also. They can ask you what type of attitude and what type of perception you're having. So because directly they cannot ask, or they cannot tell you you are not a good boy and you're not having this quality, and you're having this thing, and you are not having this thing. So the best way, the best way to conduct a interview. So with the help of interview, during interview, lot of points, lot of things will be come out, and from your mind, and will be many things will impact on your personality. So they can easily judge, and they can easily check it. Either you're having a positive perception or negative approach. So this is very important to raise or ask some questions related to your field and related to you and related to job. So these points very helpful and very important. So now, how was the education? So how was the education finance? So they can also ask about your education background, performance, impact, and so your friends support, your parents support, and your teacher support. So all points are very important point, we can say that. Now family details. Now this is also again very challenging points, because we are just telling them about the importance about the occupations, and if you're having your siblings and how many siblings are there, they can raise such kind of questions, how many siblings you are having. So now what they are doing and what they want to do in your life. So these things are very important, because very raising points are just coming out from your mind, and they can raise such kind of questions, because these questions are very important, and basic things we are asking. Because now what we are asking, we are just checking and just testing your personality, your point of view. Your personality is just judging by them, because in panel. So in panel, they are not only there are 3 4 person will be there, and they are all all we can say that they are just testing you. They're just asking some questions related to you, because you must have knowledge on that. Are you having this knowledge on that? So why they're asking these questions? Because they just want to know how much how many I yeah, are you aware or not, and are you getting some points or not, time spent, your activities at home, whom do you approach for help, your activities you get involved with your family or not. So how you meet your requirements and your neighborhood friend circle and other social culture activity. So the most important, or the most part of interview is that you are spending your time and about your brothers, about your sisters, and their activities. Now interest this is also very challenging point in interview round, interview question. How to spend your spare time and your major interest, your hobbies, and level of proficiency and preference for team and games of individual and games and level of proficiency, and your routine on normal days and your holidays time and reading habits and newspapers, books, and magazines. So entertainment and movie and television. So these questions are very interesting and challenging points, and they can raise such kind of questions. Are you positive? What type of in what type of your routine you are having, your major, your interest, and your hobbies and your proficiency level you're having or not. So games and your level of proficiency and your routine work and your normal days and your holidays. So are you having reading habits? So newspapers and books recently. What you have read or not. So there are so many novels and books, magazines. So such type of questions can be raised by them. Okay, tell if you have mentioned this thing. Yes, I am having reading habits. I just want to read and books, magazines. So related points, related views, related points can be raised in interview. So entertainment and television. So now interview questions or general awareness. You must have general awareness about the what is going on nowadays, and what is about honors and awards and computers, like topics, matters, historical facts, geographical details, your music, sports, game, and current affairs, because these points are somehow related to us and related to our country, state, and you can say that because we must have such knowledge about the sports, from sports and games and current affairs, what is going on nowadays are internal affairs and the external affairs and the national news and state, and so many activities and so many policies can be raised by them. They can ask you because you're having an interview, and because many points can be raised by them, so you must have a good knowledge on that. So now your self evaluation, this is very important because you're having a single individual interview. So self evaluation is very important. We are just judging us, so they can raise some strong points and assets and your weakness. So these points are very important, your strong points. So they can just ask you, they just want to know about your strength and your strong points and your assets and your weakness. So everybody is having some weakness and the strong points. We all are having strong and positive and the weakness. So we must have knowledge on that, and areas you would like to improve. They can ask you any area, any point, any weakness, any negative approach if you're having, so areas you would like to improve. So remember to avoid saying the following. So these are some points you must avoid and just not mention during interview. So first of all, your fear of height, you should not mention in interview your fear of height, and difficulty in mixing with other. This is also very important. You must avoid difficulty in mixing with others and being introvert or loner and find it difficult to make friends and being scared to get depressed or nervous, get like having a negative thought. So just try to avoid these points. If you're having such points, if you're having these points in your mind and your personality, in your in your life, so just try to avoid these points. Do not never ever mention this point, fear of height, and I'm not in difficulty in mixing with others. Yeah, I don't want to mix with others. I'm not in the I don't want, and I don't like such point. I don't like to mixing with others. Just try to avoid this point, because if you are not mixing with others, not trying to talking with others, and not try to make them tell them about your opinions, views, so it means you are a lonely person. And so how can you do work in in that place, in workplace? This is also negative point, difficulty in mixing with others. Next is being introvert and loner. It means you are not having social, and you are not social person, and you don't want to talk with others, and you are introvert and loner and like lonely thing, and find it difficult to make friends, and you don't want to make others, and being scared and having fear, and always and just get depressed or nervous. So these points, we can say that these all points, negative points, and never ever try to mention these points during interview. Just try to avoid all these points during the interview. Then after the points to remember, these points you must remember, and you should have knowledge on that. Do not get over friendly. Speak on to the point. Keep looking at the IO and not elsewhere. Be attentive. Respond smartly. Do not use slangs. The more you reveal, the more you are approved. And do not tell lies. Do not contradict statement given in PIQ. Do not criticize anyone, including friends, teachers, parents, and sit comfortably. So, these points are very important, points to remember. You must, remember these points during interview. First of all, do not get over friendly. First of all, if you are having interview, so first of all, do not get over friendly with them and speak only to the point. And you just, have, you must speak on to the point and keep looking at the IO and not elsewhere if you're having interview. So this is your duty, and just looking at the IO, not elsewhere. So first of all, looking keep looking at the IO and not elsewhere. This is very important. We must, we should just yes. So interview, points to remember: do not, be attentive and respond smartly, and do not use thanks. And the move you reveal, the move you are approved, and do not, contradict statement given PIQ. So whatever you have mentioned and whatever you want to tell them, so it should be, clear, and it should be clear, and we can say that it should be clear, and so contradictory statement should not be, it should not be given, and it should not like that. So do not tell lies. So the more you reveal, the more you are whatever just tell them. So not bluffing with them. Do not cheat with them. So these all points are very important, and be attentive and respond smartly. And first of all, during interview, be attentive and respond smartly. Do not criticize anyone, including friends and teachers and parents, and sit comfortably. So then, after suggest for the candidate, so before going for interview, and make mental notes. So make mental note of all the details given PIQ. So before going and before entering and before going for the interview, make mental note of all the details given in PIQ. Just read one time, two times. Then after, just you will be able to tell them. Have confidence in yourself. Do not elicit information which is not given on type question asked by IO. Do not be nervous at the time of entering the interview room, and dress appropriately as per the time of the day. And so your dress should be, appropriately as per the time of the day, and knock before entering the room and enter when called in. This is called you're having manners. So enter with a smile and wish with a courtesy. And if the IO offers you hand, shake it warmly. Do not take the seat unless you are asked by the IO. This is also, a very important point. You do not take the seat unless you are asked by the IO, and just take time and just, and just have a good eye contact. And you must have a good, personality. You must have a good, your eye contact and your gestures. So how to talk and how to behave with them. And because you are like officers there, and you are just make them clear, yes, you are also eligible for this post. And that's why you came, and you're having a good knowledge, and such type of having good good IQ level, and also you're having good IQ. So do not be just if the IU office offers you hand, then shake it warmly. So enter with a smile and wish with a, so your face should be your face, like your smiley face should be there. To dress properly and as per the time of the day, and do not be nervous, and do not be feel don't feel hesitate at the time of entering the interview room. So have confidence in yourself. Do not elicit information type question. So by the IO, so do not add something it's not relevant. So then after these suggestions for the candidate, listen to the questions carefully, clarify in case of any doubt. Your speech should be natural, not too fast or too slow, and speak clearly and confidently. Do not be too loud, but must be audible. Be polite and respectful to the IO, and your answer should be brief and to the point. Never voluntary or any information. Avoid any kind of mannerism of fiddling with your body parts. Do not try to bluff or make a false statement. This is very, important statement and suggestions for the candidate. So before going interview, before having interview, so first of all, listen to the questions carefully. First of all, listen all instructions carefully. Listen all questions carefully, and just try to clear and just try to make it clear. Yes, whatever they are saying, it is clear in your mind, and everything is clear. And if there is no doubt at all, and that if there is any problem, and just clarify in case of any doubt. So when whatever you are listening and whatever you are just uh, receiving from them, so then after you can just respond it. Okay, so otherwise you will be not able to respond properly, and not able to and not able to do your tasks properly. So first of all, just listen, carefully, and two times. If there's any problem, if there's any doubt, just clarify your all doubt. Just clarify in case of any doubt. Your speech should be, natural, very, your speech should be natural, positive, not too fast or not too slow. You speak clearly and confidently. So first of all, whatever you are saying, and whatever it is in your mind, just you must have confidence on that. Yes, whatever I'm saying, it is correct, and it is okay, and there's no doubt at all. If there's any, if you are, if you're having good knowledge, but you're not confident about it, so you will not face, and you will be not able to you will not be able to perform. You will be not able to perform it clearly. So do not be too loud, and but must be audible. So whatever you are saying, it should not be too loud, and it should not be too loud, but it must be audible. So it must be clear, it must be audible, and so anyone can listen you, anyone can make it clear, anyone can just communicate with you properly. So then after, be polite and respectful to the IO. So this is the everyone's duty. This is the everyone's duty. We should be humble. We should be polite and respectful or to the IO. So whatever they are saying, if they are saying anything wrong, if they are saying anything not relevant, and you are not agree, and you just want to give your suggestion and want to just it clearly, so you just make it clear and just tell them related to this point. And you should be polite and respectful to the IO. You are not supposed to tell them harsh words, and just and you are not supposed to make your voice loud, because they are people, they are very qualified, and and we must have respect, and we should be polite to the interview round. And if you are having problem, you just so sir, could you please repeat, sir? So just use polite word, just use the words which is the words which is very polite, and respectful words. You must use respectful words, and you should be polite. You should be very polite during interview. So your answer should be brief and to the point. And if they are just if they are asking some questions, they are just asking some questions to you. And first of all, you must listen carefully about the questions, about the proper. After listening properly, then you can answer them clearly. So first of all, your answer should be brief and to the point, and get to the point. So never venture on any information, avoid any kind of mannerism or building with your body parts. So you're not supposed to make your body like you are moving here and there. So just like you must have manners and do not fill in your body. Do not try to bluff or make a false statement. This is also very important. Just make it clear and just tell them clearly, honestly. And you're not supposed to cheating with them. You're not supposed to tell giving any false statement to them. Then after, do not get upset and do not get upset even if it is silly question. Do not lose your temper or get excited because your temper and capacity for patience is being tested. And keep a smiling face. Do not wear a gloomy look when give an indication that interview is over. Get up and give a courtesy, go and say good day, sir, and good day, ma'am, and leave the room, replacing the chair properly. If the IO offers his hand again, shake it warmly, again saying thank you, sir, and goodbye. So these are, we are just, talking about some suggestions. So, suggestion for the, candidates. So, first of all, do not get upset. First of all, this is also, you're testing, you are not upset, you should not upset, and even if it is if it is a silly question, if they are asking you, if they are asking you a silly question, you should not like you are not like you are just feel like that and bored and upset feel. So this is also etiquette, this is also mannerism. And do not lose your temper or get excited because your temper and your capacity for patience is being tested. So first of all, do not lose your temper and or get excited because your temper and your capacity for patience is being tested. Keep a smiling face. Do not wear a gloomy look, and when given an indication that interview is over, get up and give a courtesy and say good day and leave the room properly and leave the room and replacing the chair properly. If the IO offers his hand, shake it warmly, again saying thank you, sir, and goodbye. So now, this is these are very important point you must have in your mind. And you should have you should behave like you should not behave like that you are ignoring them. So because if you are feeling that questions are not proper and silly questions has been asked by them, so you are just losing your temper and feeling get excited because temper. And you must you must know about this thing because temper and capacity for patients being tested over there. So feel like that. So keep a smiling face and do not wear a gloomy look, and your dressing sense should be proper. And when given an indication the interview is over, so get up and courtesy and about the uh, you must say that you are just if you're leaving the room, so replacing chair properly. So this is all very important points. So these all points also we have all points we have discussed over here. Then after your suggestions for the candidates, so interview points to remember, and self-evaluation is also very important, and general awareness, and interview questions, interest, and hobbies, and how do you spend your spare time, and measure interest and measure hobbies and level of proficiency and preferences and your routine life and your days interview questions and education training and learning outcomes also we have discussed. And questions on objective of interview, these are some points we have discussed over here.